afreximbank.co.ke.
Kudakwashe Matereke is our guest, and he's the regional director when it comes to matters operations at East Africa under the Afreximbank. They're here in the country and they have launched amazing stuff that we want to get to know that will enable your connectivity, which as well ties in with our conversations courtesy of Safaricom Business. Welcome to the Trading Bell Show. Let's get straight to the conversation. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. It's good to have you here. And, anytime I mention Afreximbank, it's quite a name and it's associated with big things, if I may say that, when it comes to Matters Africa. But allow me to ask you to let the viewers know just a little bit of a mandate of what Afreximbank does in Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Afreximbank was created in 1993 and commenced operations in 1994.
Okay.
And the establishment of the bank was coming as a result of failure in international financial markets to help African countries and third world countries to access trade finance.
Yeah.
So you may recall that there was, in the 1980s, the failure by the South American economies, Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, to repay their loans.
Yeah.
And the international financial system basically characterized all developing economies as highly risky.
Yeah.
And that presented a challenge to most African countries to access international trade and to finance their imports and their exports.
Yeah.
So a decision was made by African leaders to set up a trade finance bank, a bank that would have a mandate to stimulate, expand, diversify, and develop African trade with a special emphasis on intra-Africa trade.
Okay.
And the bank does this, and the mandate is that we do this through provision of credit, provision of guarantees, and provision of advisory services.
Awesome.
And the market is obviously Africa.
Definitely.
And as things have evolved in the African continent, we have seen the bank having to develop more instruments to support trade in Africa because we needed to respond to the situation that is presented in developing Africa.
Okay.
We now have also what we call now the global Africa with the incorporation of the Caribbean countries. We now have 12 CARICOM states which have become members of Afreximbank. So it's been a long journey for the last 30 years, but we are now here where we are with Afreximbank now, with subsidiaries that go beyond just the provision of what I said, credit guarantees and advisory services. We have now established FEDA, which is the Fund for Exports Development in Africa that provides equity to projects that are export-oriented. And we are now investing in industrial parks, etc., which is now quite a significant part of the business. So that in terms of background, that is who we are, established by African heads of state to fill the gap that had been created because of the departure of international financing into Africa. And 50 all African countries now are member states.
Wow.
And we are open to do business in all the African countries.
Okay.
So that's just a brief background on Afreximbank.
Yeah. I know trying to summarize all that in a minute or so could be a task, but thank you so much for that context. You are here in Kenya, and when I was listening to the conversations that were happening in your conference, there was an amazing ATG launch, and if I may use the initials of it all, which you will help us understand. It's all about enabling trade in Africa. Could you paint a picture of why you're here and what was all this? Because I saw you bring government and businesses together for enabling trade.
So we were here for the last 2 days working with the government of Kenya, the SMEs, private sector, commercial banks, fintechs, logistic companies, launching what we call the Africa Trade Gateway. The Africa Trade Gateway is a digital platform established by Afreximbank, incorporating all the other participants, but with a view to making access to markets for African SMEs, especially becoming more relevant now in light of the AfCFTA. How can we get a small to medium enterprise company that is in Kenya trade more in the East Africa community, but beyond that, trade with the SADC region, trade with the West African counterparties, with North African counterparties, in a manner that helps us respond to the need to improve intra-Africa trade. That's what the ATG was about. So we are working with our partners here, bringing in the Ministry of Cooperatives and SMEs, bringing in the Ministry of Trade, and getting us to get the SMEs to go beyond the areas that they've traditionally been comfortable trading in. So it's the trade access to markets. The second part is they are seeking trustworthy sources of traders. They need to know that if I'm dealing with a company that says they are from Sudan or they are registered in Nigeria, those companies have been properly verified and tested, or verified, and their identity is known. Thirdly, there is the issue of trade information, intelligence. We need the right sources of information for dealing with companies that, where you know what to source from where, which country or which market is the best products for a particular sector.
Absolutely.
Thirdly, we're dealing with financing. ATG provides that platform where financing can be accessed. And lastly, is payments and settlement. That's what the ATG provides. It's a wide array of the solutions that it provides, having identified what the challenges are. So ATG is an ecosystem which brings together commercial banks, financiers, fintechs, logistics providers, and the financiers, so that funding can be available. So we are looking here at an ecosystem that is already working. And in the case of the other solutions that are provided by other parties, ours is a conglomeration of all these factors, but that speaks to the needs of Africans.
I love that, because what you've done is bringing all the challenges that we have seen. Sometimes someone is saying, oh, my bank, oh, currency, oh, all that. So we are seeing that the entire ecosystem, there is a gap that needs to be closed. And some facts here, Africa faces a trade finance gap estimated at around $100 billion US. That's a lot of money. And this definitely has an effect on the businesses. So how are you, as a bank, through now ATG that you've talked about and other instruments, how are you working to close this gap in East Africa? You're in charge of this.
Chege, what are the issues that we see? We see that there is generally, like I mentioned earlier, there's a perceived high risk of dealing with African counterparties. It hinders access to trade finance and creates even a bigger gap. There is poor access to trade information. There is also very low credibility by those that assess us, especially to provide financial and correspondent banking services. That's what ATG is seeking to address. There's a trade information portal on ATG. People can access information. There is, when we talk about risks in dealing with African counterparties, we're saying we have done KYC on the counterparties. People can actually access information about those companies. And then when you talk about correspondent banking services, we have, in the case of Kenya, we have KCB, is part of the platform. UBA is part of the platform. Yes. But we need more. We need people to come in. So ATG is seeking to also cover the trade finance gap.
Excellent.
So that's part of the solutions that we have.
Okay.
It's not all, but in the normal case also we hear that the infrastructure is a problem. We are working outside ATG, of course. We are working with African governments to enhance our infrastructure. These things, you cannot work on one element and hope that you have solved the problem.
That's true.
You have to run on all tracks to deal with the challenges that we have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Allow me to take a quick short break. And once we come back, we'll be talking about a little bit more on the cross-border payments, what are they doing to help us with it, logistics, and much more. And also, how can you benefit out of this? And remember, this conversation is brought to you by Safaricom Business. And at Safaricom Business, we tell you, do not go to any other place where you want proper connectivity, especially now with ATG. You want to ensure that you are well, properly connected. We take a break. We'll be right back. Back to the Trading Bell. We are here talking matters digital that will enable Africa and the businesses in Africa trade seamlessly. This is brought to you by Safaricom Business. And remember, Safaricom Business is the trusted shield that protects Kenya's enterprises so that they can digitize with confidence. And we're talking matters ATG. And you know what? ATG in itself, we're talking matters Africa Trade Gateway, courtesy of Afreximbank. And so definitely make sure you're connected. And back to our conversation, sir. When we talked just about policy, I thought about now simplifying the processes of payment. That has been a challenge sometimes because of currencies, all that. How do I pay you? And, you know, for a business person, the end result is how quick can I get my money?
Yes.
So it's not delayed. So what are you doing through ATG to ensure that you have simplified payments?
Okay, so payments is a challenge.
Yeah.
We were listening yesterday to a trader who has to connect to Tanzania and look for a bureau to change their Kenya shillings into US dollars and then back to Tanzania shillings in order to settle.
Oh my.
And the Pan-African payment and settlement system was launched. It is now working. It's a working reality in the West African Monetary Zone.
Excellent.
And we have seen traders trading in goods and services where an invoice is settled in the importer's local currency and the exporter receiving local currency.
Wow.
We see PAPS as a payment rail that provides cross-border and settlement system to the ATG. It's now live. So what happens is that when a trader in Ghana is trading with a buyer in Kenya, they do agree to the terms. And what happens is that the container comes, and actually I'm giving an example of a lady who is currently doing that as we speak today in Kenya. She has opened a PAPS account with a commercial bank. When she sells goods, she instructs, she goes onto the PAPS platform. She instructs a bank to debit her account with Kenya shillings in settlement of an invoice issued by a Ghanaian supplier. The Ghanaian receives Ghanaian cedi, their local currency. And the Kenyan buyer is paid in their local currency. The bank of the buyer in Kenya and the bank of the seller in Ghana, they do the settlement. It is working.
It is working.
And it is something that we are actually encouraging Kenyan companies who are trading cross-border to start using because it's reality. It's working. That reduces the need for losses that we see on account of people carrying cash and having to change it at the bureau, etc., in order to buy goods.
Lovely. That's powerful. In fact, the world is now becoming digital, so it's going to help us a lot with that. As we near the close of the conversation, one of the questions that probably a viewer would be asking is, I'm a small business SME. am I able to ever, if I have art pieces, for example, sell these art pieces across the border? What I'm driving at is inclusivity. Especially for SMEs, youth, and even women. That they will not feel this is just for the big boys. Do we have a place at ATG for even small businesses?
In fact, ATG is a place for the SMEs.
I love that.
Because if,
yes,
without mentioning names, imagine the largest cement producer in Nigeria and the largest construction company in Kenya.
Yes.
If they wanted to trade, they are known. Anyone can, yes, their KYC. Every bank banks them. Maybe every bank is actually prepared to give them money and funding.
Because they are big. Yes.
Because they are big. Yes. And ATG may not be solving a problem between two large corporates in two different parts of the African continent. But ATG will solve the problem between a large producer of goods and a smaller SME who wants to buy goods.
Okay.
Because the smaller player becomes more visible, it becomes more traceable, and trust is built because they have been checked from a KYC point of view. So I actually think that inclusivity is what ATG is bringing to the SMEs, whether SMEs run by the youth or by women or by people that would consider previously disadvantaged from the financial ecosystem.
Yes.
That's what ATG actually appeals to. And if you saw yesterday, the people that were in the room yesterday, it was deliberate. We are not targeting high-end, large manufacturers and consumers on ATG. We are targeting emerging entrepreneurs, emerging SMEs, so that they can be. They can also play a role in the intra-Africa trade through the platform of the AFCFTA that is now granted to them. Following its adoption. So that's, we actually think that it appeals to SMEs.
All right, there you have it. It's not how big you are or how small you are. ATG is your place. And remember, even as you go to ATG, Safaricom is your connectivity place, because Safaricom as well ensures that SMEs and corporates communicate efficiently and cut costs to stay connected across, even when you join ATG. So moving on, as we close the conversation, I'm curious to know about your adoption. And I know you have touched on trust because you have verified everybody who's coming on the platform, which is a great thing. But I just wanted to ask you about digital adoption, which can be slow. We have seen that sometimes, especially in some countries in Africa. But we really want to believe that they must be onboarded, as you have said, from SMEs to whatever level of business. What's your comment on this?
We are working with the Chamber of Commerce, we're working with the Manufacturers Association, we're working with the SME organizations, so that we get everyone accepting to join the ATG. So we are pushing currently by activation. Activation that we're doing currently is actually to make sure that there is acceptance and adoption by most of the companies that we are inviting to take part in. But just to give you some data, 90 banks across 35 African countries have approved. And the ecosystem has 9,000 verified companies. And we have seen some requests for quotations. So people go onto the system, they approach company X and say, give me a quotation for these products. That's equivalent to 3.5 billion that we have seen. And we have so far seen ATG transacting up to $145 billion. That's what we have seen over the last 1 year. But we need more. Because an ecosystem works better when it has more participants. That's what we are pushing for in terms of adoption.
I love that. In fact, the more the merrier. That's what they say.
Exactly.
Finally, years from now, 5, 10 years, I'm sure you have a goal and you're looking at it. One of it being that the more the people, the better. What are your observations? What do you hope to see at the end of it all?
We want to see a situation where, as the AFCFTA takes ground on most of the African countries, we want to see a Kenyan trader saying, is expanding into supply of goods and services to countries or markets that they had not anticipated or that they had not thought about.
Yeah.
We want to see a milk trader in Kenya selling to Algeria, selling to Benin, selling to Cote d'Ivoire, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Suppliers of material, clothing material or clothes in West Africa saying they've got a strong market in East Africa.
Yeah.
That's the opportunities that we want to see. And we want to see Africans saying their market is beyond their national borders, but the whole of the African market.
Yeah.
And that's what is anticipated under the FCFTA.
Yeah.
And we think that this is achievable, and everyone has to give it a try.
Absolutely.
We need to do that so that we make a difference of our own current situation where we are not trading amongst ourselves and where we are buying probably goods that we don't produce on the African continent.
You're right.
Yes.
I love this conversation. I think we'll have a part 2 soon enough, especially after seeing the goals of what ATG can do.
Yeah.
By the way, internet is very important in this whole thing, right?
Yes, connectivity is important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
And remember, that connectivity right here in Kenya, Safaricom Business got you so that you are uninterrupted when you're doing your business cross-border even. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for listening to us. That has been Kudakwashe Matereke, the Director of Regional Operations East Africa at Afreximbank. I leave you now with the markets.
Trading Bell brought to you by Safaricom Business.
We choose partners with solutions that get us there. Solutions that power progress step by step. Your dreams zetu come true. You could also power your progress. Join Safaricom Business today. Power your progress at business.safaricom.co.ke.